There hasn't been actually a lot of news this week. It's been pretty circulated around like a lot of different sports. Like it wasn't just baseball, basketball, football. Baseball has
Mhm.
its spring training starting soon, so it's pretty focused on that. NFL still going through the off season, some trade talks. NBA probably has a lot of good news, especially because a lot of these games last couple of weeks have been like fire. And a
Yeah,
lot of teams are either like surging or just like falling off the cliff,
exactly.
mostly due to injuries. But if we wanted to start it off like on a couple other sports, like this past weekend we saw the Australian Open finals. Naomi Osaka won her fourth title last Saturday against Jennifer Brady, I think her last name was. And
Something don't really matter.
the funniest thing was I saw it was on Twitter. They were they gave Osaka the award. She's thanking everyone, she thanks Jennifer Brady. She goes, "Oh, do you go by Jennifer or Jen?" And everyone laughs. Oh, like funny, little joke or whatever. And Jennifer Brady looks at, she's like, "It's okay, you can call me Jen." The next sentence, Osaka goes, she's like, "Yeah, so Jennifer here. I want to really thank her for being a good participant." And I was like,
Why'd you
nothing,
ask
what?
the
Maybe she didn't
question?
hear her. What was the point of that question,
That's funny.
Osaka? It was kind of shady, funny, kind of like in that sense, but she's not like that. Like Osaka's like a very like
Yeah, she's dope.
well like yeah
I
well
would
liked
love to have
player
her as a friend. Like
for
notwithstanding
real.
the fame and stuff, like she
Yeah,
just seems like that person you could just sit down and chill with and just have a conversation with, which is
mad
dope.
chill.
Yeah,
She's awesome, and actually she's on Michael Jordan status right now, man. She's 4-0
yeah,
in the finals. Every time she makes the
elite.
finals, she can't lose. She washed Serena in the
Wow,
semi.
I was like shocked. They
Yeah, bro,
usually
that
play
was
good
crazy.
matches. They
The
usually play
last time
great
they
matches.
played, it went like 6 matches, and then the one before that was the one where Serena lost on a terrible call by like the official. Called her like for I don't know, talking to her coach who was in the stands and said you're
Yeah,
disqualified, and everyone's like, "You can do that? Like what?
yeah.
Why does that happen?"
You're not allowed to get coaching like that until it's a break in the match. But
Yeah,
for it to be like that was kind of stupid.
yeah, it was terrible. It was a weird situation to watch too. And then on the other side, the day after, that was last Saturday, and then on Sunday, Novak Djokovic won his ninth Australian Open title. That's the most by any man in Australia, and then his 18th overall. And he's coming close on like a lot of major titles.
Mhm.
Number one player in the world for a reason, obviously. Gets his flowers. Tiger Woods had a scary,
My
scary car
man
crash.
should have been dead. That's crazy.
That car saved him. I think the airbags deployed, and when they said because the car was like on its side, kind of like upside down, the airbags were literally holding him in place, like
Hmm.
from shredded metal, glass everywhere. It was crazy. Had to use the jaws of life to get him out.
You know what's
Sick stuff.
crazy too? On top of that,
Was that?
the speed limit on the road he was driving on is
Yeah,
45. But
yeah,
everybody says it's impossible to go 45 on that road.
yeah. They said like it has a lot of accidents. They've had to put like traffic cameras there just because they want to monitor like what cars are doing there. It's kind of
But
like scary.
people said before you even blink, you're going
Mm-hmm.
50. So they're like, it's almost impossible to go 45 miles an hour on that
Yeah.
road. They said he was probably going 80.
Oh my God,
They
bro.
said
He had
they said
no control of that car.
some people don't even realize because like you don't feel it. There's no the road is probably super smooth, so you're probably
Yeah.
just driving and you look down and you're
Gliding.
going 80 miles an hour in a 45, and there's no cops there. So then you just go flying off the road because you're flying.
It's like a
So
ski
I
slope.
just
That's sick.
it's crazy, but he survived.
Yeah.
It's like an Alex Smith injury from what it's like. It's different because they said Alex Smith his leg injury was a spiral fracture. So
Yeah.
like his leg broke in a circle, like almost like it
Hmm.
spiraled down his leg, which is crazy to think that your
Uh,
leg could break like that.
I can't even like think of that in my head, bro.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
But then Tiger was a shatter. So it just
Hmm.
and it went through the skin. And like I think you were telling me earlier, he didn't even
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No,
Like
he got
he
out of the
didn't feel a
car
thing.
conscious. Again, like the airbag saved him. The paramedic who was on TV was talking to him. He was like, what's your name? Asked his name. He said, yeah, I'm Tiger, fully responsive and everything. No head trauma or whatever. But when he got out of the car, thought he could walk and just like dropped. Didn't even
Yep.
realize that his leg was like fully broken, like shattered.
Yeah. They
That
put
is
what rods,
crazy.
screws,
Yeah.
bolts. They said it's gonna take multiple surgeries and
Yeah.
they had to keep cutting his muscles open because it was too much pressure. And the same thing with Alex Smith. He had the infection. They
Yeah.
had to keep cutting. They said it's the same thing with Tiger, but they're trying to avoid it this time. So they keep cutting the muscle open to relieve the pressure. And I'm like, bro, that's nuts.
Man, Tiger wishing for a speedy recovery. They said
Yeah.
he should be fine, but obviously won't be playing golf for like the next 2 years, probably
Yeah.
more. Um, Going to
No,
the
no, no.
NFL.
Maybe not. To be
Wait, what
honest with
happened?
you, if there's no infections or anything, he could probably be back by next year because he won in 2018 with a broken leg.
Oh, that's true. That is
So
true.
he could,
Well, hold
as
on. We're
long
comparing
as
a broken leg to what happened this time around. Is
but that's what I'm saying.
a stretch.
It's gonna the rehab for golf is not as strenuous as it is for like a basketball
Oh,
player or something like that,
okay.
or
Yeah,
football player.
that's true.
He's majority of the time he's standing still. So as
Mhm.
long as you can, whichever leg, if it's I don't know golf like that to know what his
You're
main
gonna
leg
have to.
is.
It was well for his. He's a righty,
He's a righty,
so
but what's his main leg? It's not
the one that
baseball.
he
It's a different
turns.
swing.
No, the one that you in golf you plant the front foot, which would be his left.
So
He
he's
broke.
chilling. He broke his right leg,
No, his right has to turn
but that's
with his
fine.
hip.
No,
That's
but
not
your
gonna
hip
give him a
doesn't
lot of
turn.
power.
Your hip
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
turn.
No, your front foot doesn't turn. Your hip
I
turns.
learned
You have
I
to
learned
torque.
from I learned from this golfer. He
Yeah.
said, I'm not gonna say what he said because it's profanity, but he said when you because he played baseball and golf. He said when you swing a
Oh,
golf club, it's completely different. You swing
well,
a
yeah,
golf
yeah.
club, you swing a golf club like you pitch.
Hmm.
When you pitch, you don't turn. When you pitch, you go forward and then you come over the top. So he
Hmm.
said when you swing a golf club, what he told me was F it forward. So he's like, when you're having sex, do you have sex like this? No, you have sex like
That makes
straight
sense.
forward. So he's like, when you're swinging a golf club, your body goes straight this way.
Okay.
You have to go like this, not
Okay.
like this. So I'm like, oh my god, because I was at golf, I was at Top Golf,
Yeah.
hooking everything left. And he's like, oh, you play baseball, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, nah.
Uh-huh.
He said, did you pitch? I was like, no. He's like, yeah, I was a pitcher. Imagine you're pitching. When you pitch, you don't pitch and turn. You pitch and come over the top, but you're still
Hmm.
kind of facing that way. So he was like, that's how you have to swing a golf club. So his leg might turn, but it's not hip torque. It's
Hmm.
fist torque.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So
I
he
think
was like, he should be fine.
there's still some even like with pitching. I know you like
Yeah.
if especially for pitchers who throw over the top. There's still got to be some like lower body action there.
Of course,
His legs
100%.
he's gonna need to rehab a lot, I think,
A lot.
before that's even like a question of like when he
Yeah.
comes back. The 1 years is a good like optimistic lookout though, because you're right about the non-strenuous kind of like
Yeah.
rehab. It shouldn't be too hard. It's mostly a standing like walking game. There's no like sprints, not too much
He's
pressure.
had
Hopefully on that
surgeries and
leg.
then come back in like 2 months. Like,
Yeah,
of course, this is a way worse injury. I'm not taking
yeah,
anything away from that. But if
yeah.
anybody can do it, it's Tiger.
True.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest golfer in our lifetime,
Yeah.
maybe that we've ever seen.
He's up there.
NFL news. So we'll start with like Cam Newton. What was that last week
Yeah, that
or
kid
like
was
this
being
weekend?
stupid.
Yeah, it was a 17-year-old kid. We won't say his name. Was out there already, put in a very like immature situation. I think Cam Newton like asked him genuinely where he was from,
Hmm.
and young kid, something to prove, especially like on the football field in Cam Newton's camp.
Yeah, he
I
at this
guess
man's
he
camp.
took it to
Like,
heart, and that's the worst part about it. Like, you're gonna try and embarrass the guy after the fact. I think he didn't realize that Cam was actually being like sincere in his question, so he took it to heart,
yeah,
and he kept asking him, or he kept telling him like,
you're
you know,
trash.
you're trash. Like you don't have a team on. Like you're not on a team right now. You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You're a free agent. He kept saying that, and like it's just like a very immature thing
Yeah,
to
it's so
do.
stupid.
I don't know. Like if you're at Shane, we play baseball. If we're at Derek Jeter's camp
Yep, I was about to
for
say the same
hitting to
name.
right field, we are not going to make fun of the fact that the Yankees picked up A-Rod to compete with him. We're not going to make fun of the
Exactly.
fact that he was snubbed of MVPs in certain seasons. We're not going to
Oh
make fun of the
06,
fact that
oh
when he was
09.
old, you don't just even if it's we can't compare Cam Newton to Derek Jeter's legacy, but Cam Newton
Yeah,
is
no.
is a great NFL player.
Yeah, it still is. He
Still
had a
is.
down year, but he was the only player on the
He
Patriots.
was
Like,
coming
what did
back
you
from a
expect?
yeah, the only player on the Patriots, come back from an injury. You can't keep you, and it's not even like that kid's fault because it comes from so many levels, so many different forms of media, wherever. But Cam Newton is like probably one of the most disrespected players in the NFL,
Yeah, easily.
especially as a quarterback.
Oh
Especially as
yeah,
a quarterback. Again, going forward,
he
the kid
apologized. Yeah,
apologized. Yeah, and Cam obviously accepted the apology. He's not one for drama, obviously, because he's learned from being in that position, right? Like in Florida as a quarterback, he was of that like maturity
yeah.
level, right?
He even said
Got
it. He was like,
suspended.
I
Yeah,
just hope the kid learns.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's what everybody should have taken from that situation. No matter what level you're at, you're under someone's watch, under someone's like
Exactly.
study. You obviously don't take their teachings or their like you don't question what they're trying to help you out with. Your Cam Newton's can't kind of know your place.
Respect the man.
Pretty much
Yeah,
what
know
I
your
respect the
place.
man. Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah. In other news, I think like the NFL hasn't had too much going on. Russell Wilson is a Seahawk, will be a Seahawk, but ESPN, just for some clicks, some views, whatever, he's going to push the idea that oh, maybe he wants to go to Dallas because Wilson says he's got four teams. Maybe he's got New Orleans in his mind. Maybe the Raiders or Chicago. Granted, he's kind of built a legacy in Seattle already. A lot of those teams, they'll probably give him what he wants, which is probably like contract money. But I don't see him going as far with a team like Dallas, New Orleans.
No,
New
he
Orleans,
might.
maybe.
Dallas has a better defense. Well, they had a better
Then
defense.
then Seattle.
They had
Seattle's
with
gonna
the
have a
old
couple free
defensive
agents.
coordinator. The new defensive coordinator has done nothing. But yeah,
Well, actually, Dallas picked up Dan Quinn, who's the defensive coordinator for Seattle for a while. So there's some influence there. I don't see him
yeah.
going to Dallas. I don't see him going to New Orleans, especially to pick up where Breeze left off.
If he goes
That
there, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think that team has like no cap space either, so they wouldn't even have to. They wouldn't even be able to extend him
Yeah,
after
no,
that.
they wouldn't be. Yeah, that's true.
Vegas is definitely a no. I
No,
don't know why they're on his list.
Chicago's a no.
Chicago is a
They
no.
don't have
They
the
have a
draft
good
capital.
defense. They don't have draft capital. They don't have an offense. They have nothing. But of course, the media is gonna sprint with that
Yeah,
narrative, not run. They're gonna full
yeah,
Usain Bolt with it.
exactly.
And likewise, JJ Watt, he's a free agent right now. He's fielding offers right now with 15 million a year range. I think Cleveland was up there. Watson announces that he's not going to suit up for Houston. Again, that pushes the free agent or trade situation for himself. I think we've talked in the past a couple episodes that, he could end up in a lot better situations. Lastly, the NFL franchise tag deadline is March 9th. That's in 2 weeks. There's a lot of key players. We'll put a couple links down there just for you guys to see. The ESPN has a long list of franchise tag candidates, headlined like Dak Prescott, Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin's on that list, Leonard Williams. There's your Giants, Shane.
So
Um,
stupid. Keep it moving. He's gonna get me tight. Talking about we're far apart on contract talks. Go sit down. You were buns up until this year. Go sit down somewhere, yo.
no, we got to point out one more thing about the NFL, Shane, is that we have basically beaten Nostradamus at his own game by picking all the correct
Oh,
award winners for the NFL.
spot on. Not
DROD
even
and
one pick
Shaniac
wrong.
got it. Got it. 100%. What was that? Like 5 for 5, 6 for 6, I think, in
6 for 6,
awards.
I think. Yep.
Yeah, we'll put the list, put a picture, give the list down there too, but check them out. Check out episode 1 where we make those picks too. MLB, spring training begins new season next week. No, actually, it's this Sunday. We mentioned
Yeah,
that
this
before.
Sunday, yeah.
Um, I'm
Let me
excited
explain the
for it.
rules. There's new
Wait,
rules. This is
the
what
stupid rules, Shane. Stupid. What is
okay.
this? What is this?
So this is what they're doing this year, right? You don't have to finish an inning. If your pitcher threw
What?
35 pitches and you don't have anybody that you want to go to in the bullpen, you can just say, all right, we're good. We got enough done. You can keep it moving. And they could just pitch. If you got only one out that inning, that's it. The inning's done. And you move on to the next inning. And they said the games
Only in spring training.
probably, yeah, the games won't be 9 innings.
Yeah.
There'll be 7 innings or 5 innings.
Oh,
They cut the rosters like in half. So, in spring training, you can bring 60 people if you want. They're like, no, 26 or 27 people.
oh, they're putting out playoff rosters.
Yes, it's small. And they're like, because they're trying, because COVID, they don't want 60 people in the dugout at one time. So what
Oh,
they're doing now
well, I guess
is
so. Yeah. Put them in the
you
stands.
can
Yeah, they can't.
no, because remember there's fans in the stands. It's
Yeah,
Florida
and it's Florida and Arizona
and
now. So
Arizona. So what they're saying is like,
yeah.
okay, cut in half. What we'll do now is like instead of it being everybody one spot, you could probably do 2 games at everybody's home park. So if the Yankees Tampa play, it's gonna be like Yankees play in Tampa, and then Tampa plays in wherever they play. See, or it's the Yankees Mets. Half the team is in Tampa, half the team is in Port St. Lucie, and
Okay.
that's how you play out instead of it being everybody at thing, and then the Mets play. It's gonna be split squad.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I
Yes,
see it from like a prospect point of view where you can see everybody at once. Like
at
everyone's under the
once,
microscope.
but they're
But
not doing it.
the innings and pitching, like
Innings is fine with me because
amendments,
after the first 3 innings, which star is really playing? Nobody wants to
that's also true.
see
And
number
it's spring training.
86 from single A. Nobody cares about that guy yet.
On the Yankees, it's like 92,
100.
91.
It's gonna be 101 in
Yeah,
a
they're
couple
gonna
of
have
years.
triple digits. Yeah, bro.
But you understand. So
No,
yeah,
that's what I was saying before. They can only do this in spring training. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
not like anything for future MLB regular season plans. It wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense at all.
It's not
But
happening.
again,
Yeah.
just to speed through the spring training, the rules sound stupid. I guess it kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
for
I
purposes,
just don't like it.
especially because of COVID. Shane, last spot we got NBA All Star coming up very soon. We'll talk about the snubs a little bit, a couple episodes later because the All Star week is coming up. I think next week, right? Again, NBA, the last I guess like spot in this part is just a couple games have really taken notice last couple weeks, especially in New York. I mean, the Nets right now are on a pace that, like, again, that's going to give them the 1 seed. I still think is they're the best team probably in the East right now, contending for the best team in the NBA. I think only with Utah, and I think there's so many other teams that are going to have to get through the Nets, literally like fight through the Nets for a top spot this season. Still see them going to the finals even after all that. What about you, Shane?
Uh, the Nets are playing amazing basketball, but KD hasn't played. So I don't
Still,
know how to
yeah,
really feel about that because when he comes back, what's going to happen?
yeah.
Uh,
The ball
the net,
sharing, time sharing, that's
yeah.
going to be a
No,
little
no,
different by
I'm
that
not
point.
really worried about ball sharing because KD's getting his first.
Well, yeah, it's not a question of when he will get the ball because he
Yeah,
will. It's a matter of who's going to get the ball at what points. I think
it's
after
just
that.
that the role players have to stay up. Like now
Oh
they
yeah,
getting the ball
yeah,
because Kyrie's playing half the games, Harden's
hmm
playing every game, but KD's not there
hmm
at all. So when KD comes back, that's less shots for Shamit, less shots
yeah.
for TLC.
For
Like Joe
Green,
Harris is
for
still gonna get his
Harris, yeah.
shots. He's
Harris will
still
get
gonna
his
get his
shots.
shots.
Yeah.
Jeff Green spots up in the corner. He's still gonna get his shots. But
Okay. Yeah.
TLC sometimes plays with the ball in his hands. Like, nah, that's cut when KD comes back.
Yeah.
But what I'm worried
Yeah.
about
That
is
makes sense.
defense. We signed Shumpert, cut him.
Mhm.
We signed
Oh, he got cut. Wow, that
yeah,
was
because
fast.
they don't want to guarantee his contract.
Oh well. Okay.
Yeah. So
It's a lot of money in Brooklyn.
yeah, we signed Noah Vonleh, cut him.
Oh yeah.
We signed Norvel Pell, cut him because a bunch of people had their contracts become guaranteed in 2 days. They said we're not paying all these guys $3 million.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Cut.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we need a center that can ball out defensively. We got Andre Roberson who can be a wing defender, elite wing defender. That's
hmm
fine with me. That's fine with me. I'll take him. But
hmm
we have wing defenders. We need an Andre Drummond. We just don't have anybody to trade for him. If
I was gonna
Boogie can
say
stay healthy, we need a
there's
Boogie. But there's a
a
lot of
lot of big
bigs,
men. Yeah.
but they're all elite players or
hmm
were elite players. I want Boogie, but can Boogie stay healthy? Is Boogie good defensively anymore? I don't know.
Good
So
points.
that's my
Good
whole
points.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn they need one defensive big man piece, and I think they
You know
might
who
be
we
set.
need? You know who we
Who's
need? Jared Allen. But we traded him.
Well, I don't think he's gonna come back. Just to say
We
the
traded
least.
him. So
Go get
stupid.
a JaVale McGee when he becomes a free agent
I'll
after the
take it.
season.
Honestly, I'll take it. He's
Might not even be
dunce.
a bad
He's
shot.
dunce, but he's elite defensively. Him or Dwight Howard. Pick up any one of the two of them.
He's actually not bad in Philly right now. He's one of the few players who can actually
Exactly.
still like cover for Embiid when they need rebounds. They'll probably think like the best
Exactly.
rebounding team in the league.
They're close, yeah.
Bro, the Knicks are up and down, mostly down. Quick has lost his shot. Manuel quickly. Alfred Payton has mostly surged into the split role with Rose because he can still facilitate the ball. He can score some points. I think he was scoring like 20 in the last couple games, and he can still lock down defense for, Tibbs' mindset. But someone else other than Randall has to score. RJ has been streaky as he has been in the past. We have no big man right now because Nerlens Noel is playing good defense, but turns into a Butterfingers on the offensive end. It's just he's lost on offense. And unless he gets like an alley oop, that's the only time I've seen. Julius Randle is the only person carrying this team right now. Obi Toppin is only coming a couple games, only playing like 20 minutes. It's not helping the Knicks right now. They need another score, and I don't think they're going to get somebody else this season. They'll probably float around at like the bottom of the East. The second half of the schedules just came out, and it's
Yeah.
looking tough for the Knicks. So, if we get an 8, a 7, we're lucky. But I don't see us going far in the playoffs. Just it is what it is.
Well, you're gonna have to face the Nets or
The
76ers in
Nets
the
are
first
Sixers,
round. You're not
so it's
getting past
definitely a
either.
goner.
Yeah.
No. And then other teams sinking right now. Lakers have injuries, and Bron is taking a lot of heat for it. They got plastered by Utah. Was that last night? It was by like 20, almost 30 points. Um, and I think like they've lost like 4 in a row, 5 in a row, something like that. They really miss AD, really miss Schroeder, just like a good facilitator, has been scoring a lot well. Who are they relying on at point guard right now? I can't even.
Bron. That's really it.
Well, yeah, I meant like at the small spot, but it's really Bron who's facilitating the
Yeah.
ball anyway.
Caruso's there.
Man.
Talon Horton Tucker, THT. He's a rookie now. He's pretty good.
Okay.
He was on the team last year. He got a ring, but
Okay.
he didn't really play. But he's playing. He's getting big minutes this year. But yeah,
Likewise, the Celtics, they have no big man. Jayson Tatum has been pretty cold. Jaylen Brown, on the other hand, has played pretty well. Actually, Tatum hasn't even been that cold. I think he's not being like what Jayson Tatum is expected to be, like from last season. And the Bucks even like playing pretty like inconsistent basketball. Giannis obviously getting his like 25, 30 a night plus double digit rebounds, but nobody else on the team is helping him out. And they're losing to a lot of like top East teams.
Yeah.
They lost to Miami, I think, a couple nights ago. Meanwhile, Utah, Phoenix look unstoppable right now. Devin Booker was almost an all-star snub. There was so much anger behind all that. No, I think he made the reserve for Davis.
No, he got snubbed completely.
Wow. So wait, who got Davis's spot?
Oh, maybe he got added on now, but Chris Paul was like, this is the first time in my career that I've been upset to be an all-star because he said Devin Booker should be there with me, and he's not.
They gave it to his teammate.
Yeah. But Chris Paul's been better, but Devin Booker is just elite. So I don't
know. Sixers are also looking to compete for the East spot. They played really, really well, especially against those top teams.
Yeah.
But I think they're playing in Brooklyn soon, like next couple weeks, maybe next week. So, NBA is shaping up to be pretty good before the All-Star break. All-Star break should be good. They're not going to play, I don't think. None of the players are into it. They're just going to announce the All-Stars, maybe have like a mini competition or something like that they announced. Like
they said the dunk contest is going to be at halftime. The 3-point competition is going to be Saturday night or something like that, or like right before the game. It's going to be just random stuff, but nobody cares, bro.
Yeah, it's All-Star weekend in the NBA. You're looking forward. Maybe it's the All-Star game. Skills comp has been like the last couple of years. Other than that,
bigs keep winning. It's like Porzingis, Carl Anthony Towns. Like what? What's his name?
Skilled guys.
What's his name? The guy from the Heat.
Bam.
Bam Adebayo. It's like, how are you guys beating the point guards? Like,
yeah, man, stuff like that is crazy. New announcement, Shane. We are now on Apple Podcasts. We will put the link below. Check us out. Keep checking us out because we're still on Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, now on Apple, and of course on Podbean. Shout out to Podbean. They've been like super helpful with all this
Yep.
stuff, bro.
And YouTube
Kind of laying this out.
again, as even though you're watching us on YouTube,
watching it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep putting those links out. Keep following us on Twitter. We'll keep providing updates and stuff like that. That's DROD N letter Shaniac, and then follow our personals because we're still talking most of our stuff there. Shane, let's use go plug that in.
That's _Shane.
And I'm
You'll see it down below.
Danny Rod at Danny Rod 75. And follow us on Instagram. We'll put that down below too. But see you next week. This was episode 7.
Next week. Later.